Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Puneet Saxena, Associate Professor Biochemistry. Today we're going to learn about amino acid metabolism. So here we go. For the catabolism of amino acid, we can learn catabolism of amino acid under certain headings like catabolism of alpha amino nitrogen, which means synthesis of urea and disposal of ammonia group. Catabolism of carbon skeleton, how carbon skeleton is converted into other metabolite, intermediates of TCA cycle, and conversion of amino acid to specialized product, and one carbon metabolism. So, catabolism of amino acid nitrogen and catabolism of carbon skeleton is an entirely different topic. Today, we are going to focus on conversion of amino acid to the specialized product. The important substances which are derived from amino acids are heme, as you know, glycine contribute to some carbon atoms of purine, of glycine is important in the synthesis of heme, then purine and pyrimidine metabolism. So, some amino acid contribute to some carbon atoms of purine and pyrimidine structure. Hormones like T3 and T4 which are derived from tyrosine. Neurotransmitters like serotonin, histamine, adrenaline, noradrenaline which are derived from aromatic amino acids, and some biologically active peptides. So, heme synthesis and purine synthesis are separate topics which will be discussed later on. Today we are going to focus on thyroxine synthesis, synthesis of neurotransmitters, and biologically active peptides. So we begin with the thyroxine hormone synthesis. Thyroxine or thyroid hormone synthesized by the iodination of tyrosine residues of a large protein called thyroglobulin, which is present in the folliculi of thyroid gland. So in the thyroid follicular cell, first step is capturing or intake of iodine. So there's iodine actively transported in the form into the epithelial cell, where it is acted upon by thyroxine peroxidase, which converts iodine into iodide molecule. This iodide molecule again convert iodine into molecular iodine, and this bind covalently with the tyrosine residues on the thyroglobulin in the thyroglobulin. So, formation of monoiodotyrosine, diiodotyrosine, or triiodotyrosine. They ultimately form the after coupling form the either T3 or T4, and they are later on excreted. Their excretion and physiological functions of thyroid hormone will be discussed in the physiology lecture. Now comes the role of important other products which are synthesized from this. Sorry, this is a repetition of my previous slide. So, now we are going to discuss about neurotransmitters, that is serotonin, histamine, which are synthesized from the various amino acids. One of such neurotransmitter is norepinephrine or noradrenaline, which is synthesized from the tyrosine. In the first reaction, tyrosine is acted upon by tyrosine hydroxylase enzyme, which requires conversion of tetrahydrobiopterin into dihydrobiopterin and convert into DOPA. This DOPA is acted upon by another enzyme, DOPA decarboxylase enzyme. This reaction is called decarboxylation. This requires pyridoxal phosphate as cofactor and formation of dopamine. This dopamine is basically an intermediate, but itself it is a neurotransmitter, and it is present in the substantia nigra. And deficiency of dopamine is resulted in the synthesis in the Parkinsonism. In the next step, dopamine is acted upon by enzyme dopamine beta oxidase enzyme. This copper-containing enzyme and converts. This requires vitamin C also. So, formation of norepinephrine. The next reaction is conversion of norepinephrine to the epinephrine. So norepinephrine is acted upon by transferase enzyme, N-methyl transferase enzyme, and it requires a methyl group, and the donor of methyl group is S-adenosyl methionine. So S-adenosyl methionine is converted to S-adenosyl homocysteine and transfers this methyl group to the norepinephrine. So this, as you can see here, this is a group which was transferred, and this formation of epinephrine. Functions of epinephrine and norepinephrine are we'll discuss in the physiology lecture. Next is GABA or gamma aminobutyric acid. This synthesized from glutamate. So glutamate is acted upon by, this is again a variety example of decarboxylation reaction. So glutamate decarboxylase enzyme converts glutamate to gamma aminobutyric acid. This again, like other decarboxylation reactions, require pyridoxal phosphate. And this is principally formed in CNS in the gray matter, and it is a pre-synaptic inhibitors. Well, next we move on to the histamine synthesis. Histamine is again synthesized from decarboxylation of histidine amino acid. Histidine is acted upon by histidine decarboxylase enzyme. It is converted into histamine. Like other reactions, as I told you, it also required pyridoxal phosphate. So histamine is formed. Histamine is a very potent autocoid. It acts through the four receptors, H1 to H4, and their effects depending upon which type of receptors involved. The mainly are contraction or relaxation of smooth muscles like GIT and other, or vasodilatation or vasoconstriction. If we talk about H1 and H2, H1 receptor activation of H1 receptor causes contraction of smooth muscles of respiratory systems and GITs. They also increase the gastrointestinal secretions and other things. And activation of H2 receptors causes relaxation of smooth muscles, vasodilate, and vasoconstriction. So these are mainly associated, histamine is mainly associated with the allergic conditions. There are various specific antihistaminic drugs which bind either H1 or H2 or selective H2 blockers, which acts as anti-allergic substances. Some of them are used for the treatment of acidity. Next comes to the serotonin. Serotonin is synthesized from the L-tryptophan. So first of all, L-tryptophan is acted upon by tryptophan hydroxylase enzyme, which is formation of 5-hydroxyl L-tryptophan. And this is acted upon by enzyme L-amino decarboxylase enzymes, formation of serotonin. This serotonin is basically related to the mood disorders. There are certain serotonin inhibitors, like certain drugs which inhibit the serotonin uptake are used in treatment of depression. Another thing, combination of or the level of these three neurotransmitters, norepinephrine, serotonin, and dopamine affect the mood. In certain conditions, in the depression, the serotonin level goes down. The certain drugs which are either serotonin reuptake inhibitors or serotoninergic drugs which are given in the treatment of depression. There's one more physiologically important substance which is synthesized from nitrous oxide. This is synthesized from arginine. Arginine is acted upon by enzyme nitrous oxide NO synthase, which require flavin mononucleotide, FAD, NADPH, and other substances. And arginine is converted into citrulline, and nitrous oxide is synthesized. This nitrous oxide is acts locally. It has got very important physiological function. It is a vasodilator. It has got anti-atherogenic effect. It has got anti-aggregant effects. So these are the certain important substances which are synthesized from amino acids. Then other substances are biologically active substances. Important thing is creatine synthesis. So creatine is synthesized from glycine and arginine. The first reaction, arginine condenses with glycine and formation of guanidoacetate with the enzyme is arginine glycine transaminidase reactase, and citrulline is ornithine is separated. This reaction takes place inside the kidney and the formation of guanidoacetate. This guanidoacetate enzyme is acted upon by guanidoacetoacetate methyl transferase enzyme. And here again, like any other methyl donor, they require the transfer of methyl group, and methyl donor is S-adenosyl methionine. This reaction takes place in the liver. So formation of S-adenosyl homocysteine. So guanidoacetate is converted into creatine. Now, important thing is what is fate of creatine. So creatine is reversibly phosphorylated to creatine phosphate by enzyme, creatine kinase enzyme. This is a high energy phosphate level, and whenever there is a requirement of energy, especially in the muscle, during the muscle contraction, the high energy derived from the hydrolysis of creatine kinase. So ATP hydrolyzed there. After the ATP is regenerated by hydrolysis of creatine phosphate. So as I told you, this reaction is reversible. Now formation of creatine. Creatine and creatine phosphate is spontaneously cyclized to form the creatinine. And creatinine is excreted in the urine. So serum creatine level is a marker of renal function. Another important substance is glutathione. Glutathione is basically tripeptide which is synthesized from the glutamic acid, cysteine and glycine. And it's also known as gamma-glutamyl cystinyl glycine. In the first reaction, glutamine condenses with cysteine, and the enzyme is gamma-glutamyl cysteine synthase enzyme. This requires hydrolysis of ATP, so ATP is converted to ADP, and formation of gamma-glutamyl cysteine. In the next reaction, which is calculated as the same enzyme, glutathione synthase, again one more ATP is utilized, and glycine is bind with this formation of gamma-glutamyl cystinyl glycine. This glutathione has a very important functions. One of such function is transport of amino acid. So during the synthesis of amino acids are transported through the formation of glutamyl amino acid, and once it moves in the glutamyl amino acid is secreted and it is converted into oxoproline. In the further reaction, it is converted, finally the glutathione is regenerated, and so the amino acid transported through the membrane. Another important role of glutathione is acts as a coenzyme. The metabolic role of glutathione synthase is mainly reduction reactions. So in the reduced glutathione, that is GSH, is reduced to GSSSG, and this two hydrogen are removed. These hydrogen are utilized by a certain biochemical reaction like conversion of methyl acetoacetate to the fumarate acetoacetate, conversion of citric acid to the taurine, and conversion of iodine into HI. One of the major function of glutathione is maintenance of integrity of RBC. As you remember, in the HMP, in the G6PD deficiency, the reduced glutathione is very low, and so there whenever there is oxidative stress or any other thing to the RBC, the hemolysis occurs, especially consumption of certain drugs like anti-malarial drugs or fava beans or other things. Next, it acts as conjugation or conjugating agent for the detoxification reaction. Glutathione is also important for the conversion of methemoglobin to the hemoglobin. As in methemoglobin, the iron is in the ferric form, so glutathione reduces the ferric into ferrous form, so it converts methemoglobin into the hemoglobin molecule. Glycine also acts as a conjugating agent, like synthesis of bile acids. Glycine is used to conjugate bile acids to produce bile salts, like glycocholic acid and glycodeoxycholic acid are the main conjugating bile salts. As you can see in the image, so this converted formation of cholic acid. Cholic acid is converted into cholyl coenzyme A, and cholyl coenzyme A condenses with the glycine from the glycocholic acid. And another is formation of taurocholic acid. Taurocholic acid synthesized from the quinodeoxycholic acid, and quinodeoxycholic conversion of with the same reaction, conversion of quinodeoxycholyl enzyme A, and instead of glycine, it binds with taurine and formation of taurocholic acid. This glycocholic acid and taurocholic acid are the two important bile acids which help in the conjugation reactions and other physiological functions. Next is formation of benzoic acid. Benzoic acid is used in the small amount of preservation in foods as sodium benzoate, and glycine is used for the detoxification of benzoic acid to form the hippuric acid. So glycine acts with the benzoyl coenzyme A and form the hippuric acid. This hippuric acid is excreted in the urine. Now to summarize, we can say glycine participate in the biosynthesis of, so apart from, we can say apart from synthesis of protein, formation of protein, amino acid also has got some important functions. They are converted into important metabolites of, important intermediates of GCA cycle. Some of them are converted to glucose, like especially the glucogenic amino acids. Some are ketogenic amino acids. Some are both keto and glucogenic amino acids. Apart from these protein functions and catabolism of carbon skeleton, the sum of amino acids have all other important functions, like glycine participate in the biosynthesis of heme, purine, and creatine is conjugated to bile acids and to the urinary metabolites of many drugs. In addition to its role in the phospholipid and sphingosine biosynthesis, serine provides the second and 8 carbon atom of purine and methyl group of thymine. As adenosine methane is a methyl donor for many biosynthesis processes. It also participates directly in the spermine and spermidine biosynthesis. These two are polyamines, and they also have got physiological proliferation of cells. Then glutamate, ornithine are from the neurotransmitter from the GABA or gamma glutamate, gamma aminobutyrate acid, butyrate. Thiophenollamine of coenzyme A and the taurine of taurocholic acid arise from the cysteine, and the decarboxylation of histidine produces histamine, which is potential protocoid, and several other dipeptides are derived from the histidine and beta-alanine. Beta-alanine, as you know, is part of coenzyme A. Sorry. Arginine serves as a formamidine donor for creatine biosynthesis. It also participates in the polyamine biosynthesis and provide the nitrogen of nitric acid. Tryptophan is converted into serotonin, melatonin, and melanin. Tyrosine forms both epinephrine, norepinephrine, and cyanidation forms the thyroid hormone. So that's all for today. Thank you very much.